Assalamu alaikum. My name is Irfan Ahmad. In this lesson, I'm going to discuss three cognitive learning styles. Cognitive learning refers to the general way people prefer to have information presented in order to problem solve and process and learn and remember new information. There are three main learning styles in cognitive learning. First is visual learning, the second style is auditory learning, and third is kinesthetic learning. In visual learning, basically, it's about to observe, to watch, and to visualize, and then learn information, get information, receive knowledge. This is the modern way of studying that students are shown visual objects in the class. They learn with the help of charts, graphs, model, transparencies, and different uh, things, presentations which they can observe, which they can watch, educational videos, and with the help of CDs, uh, their projectors, presentations. So students watch, they observe, they understand easily, and visual learning is very common nowadays. It's the modern approach of pedagogy. It's the holistic approach in classrooms, and it's updated approach. And this visual learning can be strengthened, that when you just on your textbook, you read the textbook, highlight the keywords, highlight the main points, and then you uh, visualize, you imagine with the help of brain dominance theory, right? We sharpen your skills, which help you to understand very well what you see, what you observe in classroom, out of the classroom. And this method is very common nowadays, right? And presentations in the class, and then charts and models shown in the class, objects, and even whiteboard writing, all visual objects which help learners to understand and get information and understand concepts clearly, are based on visual learning. And then second common style of learning is auditory learning. It's to hear and to listen and to understand the concepts. It's the oldest mode of learning. And when there were no boards, when there were no laptops, when there were no charts, no whiteboards, at that time people used to learn information through listening. They listen from one person, that person memorized, save it in the memory, understood that, and then transferred to the other. So this auditory style of learning is the oldest mode of learning, right? So this is the most common method, basically, because according to a recent survey done in the Harvard University, the most common skill used in communicating ideas and sharing information and getting information, receiving knowledge, is listening, right? That you listen, your teachers talking, you listen your classmates discussing different ideas, and you listen from many sources nowadays, and you get updated with the latest information, which is helpful in academics, which is helpful in your personal life, which is helpful for your own grooming. And then the third style, which is uh, the scientific style, or that is basically uh, prevailing in vocational institutions, in scientific labs, that is kinesthetic learning. Kinesthetic learning is done with the help of tools and machines, and mostly the labs are the best examples of kinesthetic learning. Like in biolab, we have microscope, and we have other such material which is helpful in the study of different biological material. Then physics lab, we have operators, and we have the other material which is helpful in understanding concepts of physics, same way chemistry. So kinesthetic learning is mostly done in professional colleges, in engineering colleges, in medical institutes and colleges. And kinesthetic learning is basically the technical learning which is help which is done with the help of the machines and the operators, and students do experiments on those machines and on that operators, and then they get the real knowledge about that thing, right? So how auditory learning can be sharpened? Auditory learning, that you tape your own lectures, you tape your own voice, you learn and then you listen your own voice, tape lectures in the classroom, and then you listen videos, listen audios, listen your teachers, and at least mean how you can process that information to your long-term memory, right, from your short-term memory by practice, by practicing it, by understanding the concepts, by rewriting those concepts, then that information is processed to long-term memory, and you can reproduce that knowledge in your exams wherever you need. uh, that knowledge can be reproduced, and then use that information which you understand, which is there in your mind, in your tests, and where you are observed in exams, use that. And kinesthetic learning, that kinesthetic learning, you use machines and uh, operators and the tools. A person who has tools, small tools, those who are science students, and those who often go to lab for experiments, so they can improve their skill, enhance their skill in understanding about different objects with the help of experiments done, on the tools. So these are main learning styles in cognitive learning, and some of the strategies I've discussed with you. And these strategies could be helpful for you in the class, out of the class, right? And cognitive learning is basically concerned with brain dominance theory, that brain has two hemispheres, and those hemispheres, how we can improve the skills and the abilities of our brain, so that we get sharp understanding, and we can enhance our capability to improve our knowledge. So that is about the brain dominance theory, which is concerned with the cognitive learning as well. So in this lecture I've discussed mainly three styles of cognitive learning, and those styles are very helpful for visual learners, for auditory learners, and kinesthetic learners. With this I finish my lesson.